Welcome to Why Brain, Episode 2. It is January 31st, 2023. I am your host, Chico Suave. Welcome to the show. This podcast is all mental. That's right. What's going on up there? Who's in control? We want to share my thoughts and hopefully get your thoughts to motivate anybody in any kind of way. So I want to talk about three words that might have the same meaning. They might have a negative meaning to one person and a positive meaning to another. Let's get to it. First one, let's talk about being content. Now, if you don't know what that means, the definition is in a state of peaceful happiness. To me, I've heard a lot of motivational speakers talk about being content. Don't be content. Don't be content. You gotta want more. What is more than a state of peaceful happiness? So now that I saw the definition, I didn't know the definition until I was researching this whole topic. And to see that, it kind of boggled my mind, man, because I was like, well, why did I think it was so negative? I kept on telling people, not for a long time, but I know I've told people, don't be content, because I've heard it from other motivational speakers. But now I'm like, why not be content? There is a form of being content, okay? And if it's a state of peaceful happiness, why not want that, okay? Now, being content doesn't mean being comfortable and not doing more for yourself, not wanting more, okay? Being content doesn't mean that you just stay at one level. That's what a lot of misconception from that word comes from. I mean, I always thought that, you just stay at one place, you're good, you don't care, you don't want anything more. I think being content is being in that peaceful happiness. But what brings you that peaceful happiness? Is it, say, your sales going down? Say it's your listeners going down. I used to be in radio, so I know ratings and having that cume and then that listening, that audience. You needed that audience. And when it would go down, would you do more to bring it up? Because it got me down when I didn't have that much listeners, or the ratings came out where somebody was on top and I was way on the bottom. It really hurt, dude. It sucked getting those ratings when you weren't number one. Man, I remember, and I still tell the story to this day, that I remember when I first came back to Albuquerque. I was in Vegas trying to make it out there in radio, and I came back, and the manager was the main host that I was a co-host for in the afternoons, and he called me up and wanted me to audition, and it was awesome. Okay, just getting back in radio was so cool, but it was hard because I had a lot of hate and a lot of people coming down on me that weren't even in the building, and that was all corporate. It sucked, man, and so getting hounded, like, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about, you can't even finish the sentence, you can't do this, you can't do that. I was getting these emails left and right, and my manager was like, dude, just ignore it, do your best. And so I did my best, and I ended up getting kind of the top ratings of, one of my second books or my first books. I don't remember which one it was, but man, it was amazing. That good feeling that no matter how much people wanted me to be down, I had just started, man. A lot of stuff was going on during that time. We just found out that my dad had cancer, and then just that, and then getting this job, dude, it was so mind-blowing. I came back from Vegas, and I had to work as a temp for P&M and for the gas company, and it was easy jobs. They were all clerical, so it was easy for me. And once those jobs, stopped, I had to look for another job, and luckily when the manager hit me up at that time, that was just perfect timing. So getting to what I was trying to say, being content, if you're doing great, that's awesome, but if things start to look down, if things start to not add up anymore, the way they used to be or the way they need to be, you shouldn't even be looking at, what they used to be. You should be trying to progress yourself, progress to that level of where you're better than you were yesterday, And I think being content is that state of peaceful happiness of finding yourself at that level where you're constantly happy. And what brings you that happiness? To me, is completion. Completing my work, completing what I said I was going to do, even though it's hard, there's challenges, there's obstacles. It's hard, man. As a father and as a husband, working a full-time job, it's not easy as it used to be. I mean, being on the radio, I loved it because I already had my flow, man. I already knew what I was doing, and I got in trouble for it because I wasn't in the building as much. And I was just like, for what? Why do you guys need me in the building for? You guys can contact me on the phone. You can contact me on the computer. Why do I got to be here all day? I'm here 1 hour before my show, and I'm here 1 hour after my show. So, like, I'm good. And it wasn't enough. And that sucks, man. You know, some people just get greedy with your time. Even when you're doing good, there was no complaints. I was still doing my job. I was still getting my shows in on time. I was still getting my sponsors read. I was still getting everything done, but it just wasn't enough. So, was I content? No, I wasn't. I wasn't happy anymore. It wasn't fun anymore, dude. So, after the pandemic did a lot of that. And I think for a lot of DJs, I've read some articles on DJs that it just changed radio after the pandemic. We tried to make the best out of it, man, doing Zoom calls, doing Facebook Lives, doing podcasts, doing stuff like that. And, man, it was just so hard. Your motivation, my motivation was looking out the window at Civic Plaza from the studio every time I walked in those doors. I remember working as a promotions assistant, and that's like a roadie for radio. And you have to, do the table, get the tables, the cables, the keys, got to drive the van, all that stuff, which I loved, man. That was one of my favorite jobs. It was fun because you got to go see movies before anybody else. You got to go to concerts for free, all this stuff for free, man. It was awesome. You get to get fed for free. It was just so cool. I loved it. I don't regret it, man. I love Citadel. I love Cumulus. I am going to just shout it out because, man, I just had a great time with that job. That was one of the best jobs I will ever have, and I know that. So, I mean, I'm going to just give my thanks right there because they are amazing. And, the way things happened in the end wasn't so amazing, but, hey, dude, it made me the man that I am. It made me strong. It made me hungry, and I'm just so grateful for that. And I will never regret the lessons that I learned being at the station that I was at. Dude, it's funny because like I at the store that I work at, people will recognize me or they'll hear my voice and they're like, "Are you Chico on the radio?" And what? I was like, "How'd you get that?" And he's like, "Well, your laugh." And so that was always my kind of my signature, was my laugh, always laughing at myself. And dude, it was so funny because I know a local rapper here. He recognized me too. I recognized him, and he's just so funny, man. He's one of cool dude, man. And he's just like, "You're a legend, bro. You're a legend." And like, it's funny because now my coworkers make fun of me, like, "You're a legend, bro. You're a legend, Chico." And it's just funny, man. People make fun of me now, but it's cool. I don't care, man. I take that love any time of day. And that's what made me content. That's what gave me the state of peaceful happiness, was my listeners. Being out there at remotes, being out there live was amazing, dude. I loved communicating, talking, playing games with, all the listeners. It was so cool. Some of their reactions are just so crazy. I remember at a concert one time, and all of the promotions assistants around that were helping that day were freaking out. Okay, because we were at a concert, and this young teenager, I think she was like 13 or 14, whatever. She comes up and she goes, "Hey, are you guys here for the concert? Are you guys gonna give away things, or for the tickets or whatever?" And I go, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, we're gonna give away some front row tickets or whatever. Just gotta sign up." And I go, "What's your name?" And so she told me her name, and I said, "I'm Chico Suave. I'm on the afternoons." I kid you not, dude. She froze. She started crying with her hands in front of her face, shaking, like hysterical. So I'm like, is someone pranking me? Like, what is this? Ashton? I'm just kidding. But it's like, what the hell's going on? Like, who put this girl up to this? Like, is it the other stations that's messing with me? You know, no, dude, this was like true blue. And so I'm like, all right. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah. She's like, oh, I just listen to you every day. I just always wanted to meet you, and I know they met you. And so I'm like, okay. I was like, it's cool. I was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah. She's all crying. She's just like freaking out. All the PAs are like, what'd you do, Chico? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, it was such a funny moment, dude. And you can ask any of those PAs, man. To this day, they'll remember that freaking. I guess you could call it quote unquote fan, but oh man, bless her heart. She was so amazing. That gave me a lot of just my heart just kind of like swelled up. I was like, man, that's awesome, dude. And there was this the other time where this kiddo came by, and it was like Halloween or something, and we were at McCall's Pumpkin Patch, and I just started, dude. Like I was doing the night show with like co-hosting, kind of intern, and then they would send me out to McCall's to do a live broadcast, which was so cool, man, because I got to be on the air, and all this. So I was kind of just coming out and in radio, and it was cool, making a name for myself. And I remember this kid comes up and he goes, hey, are you guys giving away buckets, trick or treat buckets? And I was, yeah, man, take one. I was like, what's your name? And he's like, Ryan, or I don't know what the heck his name was. This was such a long time ago. I'm just making up names. But I'm like, I was like, I'm Chico Suave. I'm, one of the DJs. And he goes, oh, what? And just like froze and then just took off. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So like 10 minutes later, this lady comes up and goes, hey, Chico? And I said, yeah. And he's like, you're on the radio? I said, yeah. Well, my son came by to get a bucket and came by to me, went to find me and asked me if he could take a picture with you and get an autograph. Dude, I was like, what? And I tried not to get my ego to just get my head blown up, and it was just such a compassionate moment, for me, because like just seeing that reaction from people, even to this day, man, like my wife, she works with some people that will all of a sudden bring up, who used to be on the radio I used to like to listen to, this guy on 93.3, he was laughing all the time. I think it was Chico or Rico. And my wife was like, oh, Chico Suave. They're like, yeah, man, he was so motivational, and he used to just laugh, and he used to just have cool topics and all this and that. And, and my wife just smiling until she's just like, well, you know what? I'm married to him. And they just go, what? They freak out. So, I mean, that reaction, man, it's just amazing to know that, people do remember me, and I did something, for them. I helped them out. I helped motivate them. I mean, some of people that I started working with, man, I remember when I started working at this place that I'm at now, I was just starting, and this guy goes, oh, he's like, I heard you're on the radio. I said, yeah, I'm Chico Suave. And he goes, what? He goes, dude, I've been listening to you since I was a kid. And this dude's like 21. I'm like, oh, man, that makes me feel old. He goes, no, dude, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, it's cool. But yeah, it did make me feel a little old. But it's cool, man. That brings me content. And I've never thought I would say that I am content in something. And I thought content was just one level. I thought it was just, being in one state of mind. But it's not. It's finding those things to be content, to be in a state of peaceful happiness. Now, the next word, complacent. Some people get those two confused. I got those confused. As we said, what I thought content was, I really needed to look at the word complacent, because I saw someone actually define this. This isn't a dictionary definition. This is someone defining it on the web. It's not laziness. It's an overconfidence, self-satisfaction, or smugness that's bred from success that makes us unaware of potential dangers or threats. So complacent. So that definition right there. So it's saying not being lazy, not staying in one level either. Okay, so it's getting that definition out of there. But it's being overconfident. It's you saying, you know what, man, this was successful before, or I'm already good. I don't need nobody's help. I don't need nobody to try and help me with progressing. I don't need anybody's 2 cents, anything like that. I don't need upgrades. I don't need updates. Everything works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what happens when you're complacent and you are, what does it say? Unaware of potential dangers or threats. So you don't even know what's coming your way. You don't know the tornado you are creating that's just going to crash everything with being complacent. I've seen it. I'm seeing it now in different forms of entertainment. I'm not even going to get specific, but dude, straight up in Albuquerque, because this is the only entertainment I see, right, is New Mexico entertainment. I've seen it for years. I've researched it for years. Trying to be a comedian for years. Trying to be a radio DJ for years. I've seen so many forms of entertainment in this state that don't give their 100%. And people that give their 100% get crapped on. I'll be straight up with you. People that try to bring something special to a place that's never had it, or these people that try to put things together, they're doing it for the first time and they don't get no support, no local support, dude. It's so backwards. We as a state, man, I thought we were close, but when it comes to entertainment, nobody. It's all competition out there. It's awful, dude. Even with comedians and DJs and this, radio DJs, we always had kind of a competition. I know you guys know the whole Wild 106 and Kiss FM fights back in the day, or Power 106 and Kiss FM fights, and all that stuff. We were still cool with each other. There's some DJs, I'm not gonna say their names, but I didn't like some DJs, bro. I wouldn't talk to them when we were at live remotes. I would say hi, try and be nice, and they fucking give me the cold shoulder, dude. Like, okay, well, that was the last time I say hi to you. You can kiss my ass. Yeah, I wasn't going to try to be nice to anybody else. Like, I'll be nice on the radio, bro. But, yeah, egos out there, bro. Egos. But that's all I'm going to say, because I'll get deep into it, and I'll hit some nerves out there, and I know I'll hear about it, but who gives a crap? This is my podcast, right? Anyways, why, Brain? Why are you saying that? Why are you going there? Anyways, back to being complacent. We are unaware that what we're doing, we think it's successful. We think, make some money, this and blah, blah, blah. But where is it putting us as a whole? Where is it representing everybody? Where is it representing yourself as well? Okay? If you're complacent at a job and you've been there for a long time, like I said, and you've been successful, things have been going good, your reports you have to do on Monday, the meetings you have to do on Tuesday, the organization of your files on Wednesday, Thursday you have more meetings, and then Friday you do everything you can before lunchtime. That way the rest of the day you can just cruise. But everything's successful. You've made money, you've got a couple raises, you're good, but you're unaware of not wanting more. Because then you just stay in that state of complacent, because you're like, all right, this is successful. I'm good. This is going to keep on working. But when a monkey wrench gets thrown into it, what's going to happen when things aren't successful anymore? Are you going to break? Are you going to just give up? Or are you just going to get back up, dust yourself off, and say, you know what? Being complacent didn't work. I want to be content. I'm going to work harder. And I think that's what everybody should do. Don't find yourself complacent in a place that is not going to bring yourself, you, whoever you are, your mind, body, and soul. Nobody's going to bring you to it. Nobody's going to push you to it. You have to do it. So don't be complacent. If you are complacent, be aware. Don't be unaware. Be aware of those potential dangers or threats. And the last one I got for you is comfortable. Are you comfortable? Comfortable shouldn't be a negative word, right? When I'm comfortable, I'm good, dude. I feel great. You know, if I'm in my couch, I'm comfortable. I want to watch TV. If in my bed, you know, when it's nice and cold. I run hot, man, so I like my bed really cold. I'm a polar bear. But anyways, like it's comfortable, right? But what about being comfortable in life? Does it benefit you? Yeah, it could benefit you. You know, you can keep on doing what you're doing. Everything's good. Nothing's being bothered. You're comfortable. But are there things that are trying to challenge you? And are you kind of pushing them away and saying, no, I'm comfortable. I don't need anything else. I don't need any new challenges. I don't need new things coming into my life. I don't need new people coming into my life because I'm comfortable. Does that work that way? I don't think it does. Shouldn't. But some people live that way. In their jobs, in their relationships, in their families, in their life in general. They don't have families. They don't have relationships. They're just by themselves, and, you know, they want more. If they don't want more, but they're comfortable, I don't know, is that good? If it's good for them, it should be good for them, right? Who's to tell them what to do? But the thing is, to be challenged every day in a way that will improve us through our minds, through our bodies, through our soul, anything that can help us in that way. We should do it. We should continue to want more, to challenge. I laugh at myself because, man, I found out I was going to be a dad on Christmas Day. Not the reaction my wife wanted, not the reaction I thought I would have. But, man, just new challenge. And come January, we had some things happen at our job that required me to help out with some stuff. New challenge. Dude, but it wasn't like, oh, man, what am I going to do? I can't do this. I suck, blah, blah. No, it wasn't like that. It was like, mind goes, zoom. All right. We got this problem. Then we got this problem over here. He's on a chalkboard, right? You can see him with some glasses, little mini me. He's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to figure this out first, and then we're going to do this, okay? And then while we do this, we got to make sure that we have this. You know, it's just, I go into problem-solving mode, and then I freak out later. No, I try not to freak out. I'm really silent when I need that time by myself. And my wife knows it. She gives me space. I love her to death. And she knows already after how many years? Man, we've been together for so many years already. And she knows when I need some space. And it's cool because, like, I don't lash out. I don't yell. I don't scream. I don't throw things. I don't make holes in the wall or anything like that. I'm silent, you know? And it's just me thinking about it. Just my mind trying to figure it out before I open my mouth so that I don't say anything wrong, so I don't say anything aggressive, or I don't say anything that doesn't need to be said. So, being comfortable. Are you comfortable right now? And is it working? If it's working, man, dude, be you. Do what you got to do. Be comfortable. But if it's not working, if there's things that are challenging you, if there's new people trying to come into your life and you feel the energy is great, but you're scared of it, man, don't be afraid to test the waters. Don't be afraid to take risks. If things aren't working and you're comfortable, please try to make a change to be content. And those of you that are complacent, get out of it. Get out of that state of mind. Challenge yourself as well. And to be content doesn't mean that you're in one state of mind, one level. Remember that. It is in a state of peaceful happiness. What brings you happiness on the daily? What brings you happiness? If nothing brings you happiness on the daily, find something that's going to bring happiness on the daily. So I hope this podcast has helped you in some way, motivated you in some way. And I hope that you continue to find those challenges in your life that are going to bring you advancement, bring you progress, lift you up instead of keeping you at one place or bringing you even more down. Doesn't need to be that way. You're more than just a body in the building. You're more than just a person in the crowd. You are you. Nobody has your fingerprint. Nobody has your laugh. Nobody has your heart. And nobody has your mind. Take care of that thing. All right? Continue to challenge yourself. Continue to read. Continue to bring more education into your mind. Learn things. Even little things. Check out your car manual. Check out how to fix the printer because the IT guys aren't going to be around for like a week. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, IT guys. But do something that is going to bring you up. It's going to help you be in that state of peaceful happiness. Be content. Don't be afraid to be content. Don't listen to these motivational speakers that say, oh, don't be content. You need to be higher. You need to be higher. What is higher than a peaceful happiness? God, just saying that word makes me happy because I can already see what brings me happiness. Can you? Think about it. What brings you happiness? Grab onto that. Think about it every day. In the morning, when you wake up, at night when you go to sleep. Try to find that place of content. Hit me up at widebrainpodcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.